Welcome back everyone, I'm Cletus Games, this is Snowrunner, and as you see we have a slight, very small, massive problem on our hands. We flipped over the Paystar and lost a gigantic cargo container. I was literally just about to finish the Island Lake map. All we have to do is to get this drilling equipment to this warehouse, and then that's this map complete and we'd be on to Drummond Island, which is over here. But unfortunately, we flipped over. I had already done this route before. We'd got one of the cargo containers from here, and I literally brought it along this same route over these same bridges and did not flip over. But this time I managed to line myself up a little bit wrong. Maybe I was a little bit too far to the right and I should have gone a little bit more to the left. We hit this bump and over we went. Now, there are a few ways we can fix this. Obviously, we cannot winch ourselves because the engine is off and the engine won't start when we're on our side. So we cannot flip ourselves back round, and most medium trucks do not have an autonomous winch. So what we could do, we could detach the trailer and then recover this thing all the way back to Smithfield Dam Garage and then drive all the way here, do the drive of shame. But then the issue is that we won't be able to pick up this massive cargo container with our little yellow crane. So instead, we're going to go back to Smithfield Dam right now. We're going to go in the garage and we're going to need to get a truck with a big crane. Ank would be lovely, but unfortunately it cannot have it because it can barely have any add-ons. This has a little tiny blue crane. Tip steer cannot have anything. Fleet Star might be able to do it, but as we know, it's quite tippy. There you go, it can have a heavy crane, but it's quite tippy. You know, narrow wheelbase, short wheelbase. I don't trust it, so we're going to go White Western Star. And another good reason we're here is that we found the engageable diff lock for that, so we'll install that, so that makes it more capable. And we need the PC320 heavy crane. Okay, now I'm going to have to drive all the way back to Island Lake, which is really annoying. I'm going to go down this road down here, over this island where the White Western Star came from, up this really steep hill, along here. Might as well grab this sideboard trailer and the maintenance trailer and take them to Island Lake and sell them. Might as well get some money for what we're doing, but that's the journey I'm going to take. I'm not going to show you the journey, I'll just meet you in Island Lake. Oh dear, first big rescue mission of the run. And here we are in Island Lake. You might be wondering why it looks all ghostly and our man's floating in the air. Don't worry, this is just a collision detection, because when you take a gateway, when you're pulling something behind you with the winch, it spawns you and that object in the same spot. All you have to do is to turn your engine on, drive forward a bit, and then the glitch will resolve itself. Boop, there we go. And then we can hook back in to the maintenance trailer. And I believe turning left goes to the trailer store. So what we need to do now is release the winch and detach the trailer, and we'll come back for those in a minute. Right, you can see the Paystar just up ahead, lying on its side, having a little snooze in the swamp. Can't believe we did that, man. So close to the end as well. That's how this game gets you. I did say that before. First couple of times you do a route, you'll be cautious, and then after that you get blasé because you know you've done the route a few times. One moment of inattention and you end up like this. Okay, we need to try and find a spot for this to be stable. I think maybe on the bridge is probably the best place to deploy this big ass crane. But we also need to be close enough to, or leave enough room for everything to flip back round. Okay, crane mode. Put the big outriggers out. There we go. And it works exactly the same as the little crane. It's just much, much larger. Okay, how we're going to flip this thing round is that I think I'm going to attach onto this. And then just try and use the power of the crane rotation to just... no, oh, yeah. Oh, no, it wanted to, didn't it? It really wanted to go. But not quite strong enough. Can we do it with the truck? I think we're just dragging the truck towards us, but that's okay. That's a good thing. And then we'll try winching. Okay. Not quite. Again. We'll get there. We'll get there. I'm just going to change the camera angle, just so I can see what I'm doing. See, this trailer's really light. We're actually lifting it. The only reason it's not in the air now is because it's still attached to the paystar. If you just... Oh, uh-oh. I appear to have... Yeah, we're dragging the... We're dragging the White Western nearly off the bridge. That's not a good thing. That would be bad times for everyone, mostly me. So I think what we're gonna have to do is change truck back to the paystar and then detach the trailer. Now you've got two objects to move instead of one big one. So we'll change back to the White Western. And now we'll try and right the paystar itself. And the winching points on this are not great. They're pretty close to the narrow frame. I don't like that. The paystar's moving, but the White Western's moving as well, which is not great. Yeah. This may be too heavy for the crane. Might have to just try and winch it with the Fleet Star's winch. So let's do that. Restore the crane. Again, as I said, in this game, cranes are really underpowered. And that's limitations of the mud encoding engine. And it was easier to make cargo lighter when it's unpacked and leave the cranes underpowered, because otherwise they would do bad things to the trucks when you were trying to lift heavy weights with them, make these sink completely into the mud. We need to be careful we don't tip the White Western here, because that really would be a disaster. Right, okay. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna drag the paystar back this way, if we can. Oh, man. Okay, one thing we can do is now we have diff lock. If we change to reverse instead of auto reverse, now we can actually use the diff locks in reverse, which should give us a little bit more power. Okay, it is moving now. It wasn't before and it is now. Now it's stuck again. So that's a nice little tip with diff locks. If you go into actual reverse gear, you can turn your diff locks on if you've got switch diffs. Come on, Mr. Paystar. It only moves when we've got the diff locks on. That's disappointing. Okay, let's go back to normal gear, try and position this so it's level, and then we'll try moving it with the crane again. And the only way we're going to be able to flip it with the crane is getting on this winch point and then just... Oh, god damn. It's just dragging the White Western forward, which is not what we need. Oh! Hey! We did it! Alright. I mean, it was dragging the White Western around, but at least the Paystar's on its wheels now. So let's try and get that trailer upright now, but without driving over the hump that actually flipped it over. This should be easier. This trailer basically weighs nothing, so this should just flip right round. Just like so. And we'll grab the front end and just pull that round. And it's going to flip over the other way, because of course it is. I'm just going to pull the whole thing straight up in the air. It only weighs 2 tons, this crane should be able to move it. And our own truck is once again on the move because it's on mud. Right, we good here? Just, yeah, like that, that'll do. That looks horrible, but it's what we've got. Now we need to get the White Western Star out of the way and try and get the Pace Star hooked back into that thing, which may not be easy. Wakey wakey, Mr. Pace Star. You've had a good rest, but now your time has come. That looks like it's going to be horrible to try and slide under and attach. Or not, as the case may be. Alright. Alright, truck and trailer. Back where they should be. Let's get them on some relatively flat-ish land. Okay. Turn the engine off, change truck, get the White Western. Now we need to get that gigantic cargo can back on that trailer. Oh man, we've churned up all the mud, everything's just bad. And this crane is really top heavy, it's got a lot of weight and it rides quite high on the frame. And the boom, of course, is a lot of weight. Right, we'll try this. Yeah, I'm just going to drag it at first before I lift it. I'm going to keep the boom short so you've got maximum power. And up she rises. Do need to keep an eye on what my truck is doing underneath me while I'm swinging this big heavy weight around. We seem to be okay. But when we extend the boom and get the weight further over, it's going to increase the leverage on our truck. Right, let's change the camera angle, see what we're doing. How far away are we? We're not very far away, you know. Let's just rotate it, shorten the boom, swing it round a bit, and come on, you turd. Because I don't want to let go of this thing until it's actually in the bed. Otherwise it may very well just roll back out. We good? Okay, we've got slack on the line, we can release it. Won't move, but not too much. Restore crane, stop engine, change truck, Pace Star, pack cargo. Okay. I think we good, unless we tip over again. Let's just winch the trailer onto that tree as we try and dig ourselves out of this place. And we have churned up this mud. I'm going low gear diff lock for this particular little bit. And the trailer wants to tip over this way, and I don't want it to. Okay, are we good? I think we're good. Normal gear. Oh man, that was a thing. Again, the limitations of even the heavy crane. I mean, as you saw, it was dragging the White Western Star around, but we did it. And finally, we can deliver this thing. Hey, we got rank 13. There was no list of things that rank 13 unlocked on the right hand side. I have no idea what it unlocks. The most important thing it's unlocked is this, harbour delivery. We have to take one drilling equipment from this warehouse, which strangely is exactly the same thing as spawns here, so you get infinite of them here. See, originally, as I said, you got one from here, one from here, and one from here, one from each of the 3 oil rigs, and that was all you got, so you had to bring them here, and then this was the only source of infinite ones after that. But now they made it easier, so you can just come here and get another one whenever you need to. But we're being tasked, I mean, all this is logging, which we're not doing yet. These are all blocked, so what we have to do now is go to Drummond Island with another one of these 4-slot cargo cans. And again, they've made the game much easier because that is one of them lying right there. So this one would spawn in here, you'd crane it onto your flatbed and go, but now they've actually given you a storage zone with infinite of them, so we do have a crane. So why don't we just do it old school? So we'll go and grab these 2 trailers, sell them at the trailer store, go to the warehouse, pick up the big things, stick it on the truck, and then we'll get off to map number 4, the final map of this region. Okay, let's be careful in guessing. Do I want to go up on this platform? Yes. Do it slowly because it is concrete, it does have sharp edges, it will pop all your tyres. But this will be a nice stable platform from which to crane it. As I said, old school style, pick up this one that spawned. Simplified newbie mode, pick it up from the yellow hatching area where you can get an infinite supply of them. They've really made the game a lot easier because this game was proper evil when it first came out. Okay, rotate it. I want to slide it to the front so when it packs in the front. That looks pretty, it looks pretty good, but it's not quite in properly. Now it is. Yeah, there we go. So restore train, stop engine, change truck, pay star, pack cargo. And how are we going to get out of here? Yeah, we'll just do that. We'll go through the lumber mill and straight to Drummond Island. I'm not foreseeing any problems here. Or do we avoid the bit where we tipped over? I think I'm going to go the long way round. I'm going to be a bit of a wimp and I'm going to avoid the bit where we just tipped over, and we're going to do that, and we'll refuel at this maintenance trailer and then again at this fuel carrier just before we go through the gate. And in fact, I might even abandon the trailer and go and drag this fuel carrier to here and then refuel one final time just before we go to the next area. Right, let's go and do that. Okay, Drummond Island, map number 4. We see in front of us a trailer with 2 wooden planks. Okay, we have to get this drilling equipment to the port, which is Of course it is. Diagonally opposite on the other side of the map. There's only 4 watchtowers on this map. It's difficult to judge the size of a map because some watchtowers only reveal a small area, some reveal a huge area, so you can't really tell how big a map is at first glance. But there are 4 watchtowers. One of them seems to be right here. Now on this map, you actually spawn on this road. So if you want to take this road, you have to do a U-turn. There's quite a few shortcuts in this map. Kind of spawns you in a mud pit, which is welcome to Drummond Island. Enjoy your stay. I am going to leave this trailer kinda here. Is not there though, because that's not flat. Here. This looks good on the left hand side. Okay, we've got a hard hat symbol. That usually means something needs to be repaired. It'll be a task to fix something, and I'm hoping it's going to need these 2 wooden planks that are on the trailer that are right next to it. This looks like a good place to leave that trailer. I hate that trailer because these legs, when they extend, bump the trailer up in the air, and it has been known for that trailer to flip over when that happens. That's why I made sure it was flat and level, well, ish. Right, what's this task? They've got a bridge down. Support local rangers. And support local rangers wants us to build a bridge with the 2 wooden planks. Well, it's good because they're literally on this trailer right here, and there's a logging station here which apparently has infinite wooden planks. This is good to know. I'm going to go and get this watchtower, which is literally just here. I think that cargo container is going to be sitting there for quite some time. This is a little trail through this little foresty bit here. As you see, it's quite clear. There's no big rocks or anything in the way. Turn left here, get to this little watchtower. Well, let's see what we can see. Oh, there's a cargo ship lying on its side. I'm not sure the big crane's going to be able to pull that thing over. What do you mean? Engine damage from drowning. Shut up. Bit of a mud pit there, but nothing too difficult. And there's lots of water here as well. That's not a great sign. Upgrade right here, and a sideboard trailer that's empty. Lost a livery task. A log station that does long logs. Log station that does wooden planks. Tourist attraction task. So we'll get that, and then we'll grab that red trailer that's got the wooden planks on it. Have a look at lost delivery and tourist attraction, and then we'll go up this road and repair this bridge. First thing to do, get this upgrade, which looks like it's not particularly easy to get to, but not particularly difficult either. Okay, this is going to be fine. I don't want to go too far in there, it looks quite muddy. It's off-road gearbox, and it's green. Available for current truck. And this is the off-road gearbox for all the medium trucks. It's fantastic. The ones in white are the ones we either own already or have unlocked through level unlocks, I believe. Well, that can't be right because we've already found a Chevy, so I think we must own all these. I think the other ones in white, like the Tatra 805 and International and the Cat, must be the ones that are the DLC trucks. But this is fantastic. The off-road gearbox for all of our medium trucks. This will give us low gear minus, low gear plus and a high gear on all of our trucks, but it reduces the maximum number of forward gears from 5 down to 4. If you look in the very bottom right hand corner, when we're in auto, we see 1 out of 5. That will drop to 1 out of 4 when we get the off-road gearbox. But you know what? How often do you actually hit 5th gear? Very, very rarely. Excuse me, could you get out of the mud please, you absolute turd? Helps if I turn the all-wheel drive on, I suppose. That might help. But yeah, off-road gearbox for the win. Now that will of course have a different all-wheel drive fuel penalty, and if you give me a moment I'll go out of game and I'll tell you exactly how much that is. I believe the gearbox we have at the moment is called Balanced, and that has a 20% extra fuel penalty on all-wheel drive. The off-road gearbox is a 40%, so it will make us drink more fuel when we're in all-wheel drive, but it's worth it to have the extra gears, at least I believe so. Maybe you don't have to upgrade the gearboxes. It's not a case of linear progression. They're just different options. Is that close enough to hook into? No, you absolute jobby. So this balanced gearbox has actually been okay. We've never really needed anything more than the one low gear. And this only has a 20% penalty for using all-wheel drive. So maybe we'll stick with this one. There's also a high-range gearbox which has a 30% all-wheel drive penalty, but has 8 forward gears, and that can make you go a little bit too fast. And it also has a high range gear, because of course it does, it's a high range gearbox. I'm not going to drive through this mud, I'm going to drive around the mud because I know what I'm doing, and that tree looks like we can just demolish it. Yep, jolly good. So the high range gearbox can make you too fast. Even your high gear is really fast, because as I said, high gear is either your second highest gear or it's 2/3 of your maximum gear. So that'll be like gear 5 or gear 6 if you slam it into high range. If you have a really powerful truck with always on all-wheel drive and always on diff lock, maybe you can get away with slamming it into high gear and just cruising around at super fast speeds, but we don't have trucks like that. What is this task? Lost a delivery. She's lost some shipments and needs us to find them. Well, this special cargo wasn't here, so I'm assuming that's what that is. Yeah, she's lost 3 cargo containers. They're 3 tons each, they're 2 slots, and there's 3 of them to pick up. There's one there, one here, and one all the way over here. Right, we won't be doing that anytime soon. That'll just be a as and when we do it kind of thing. And there's also this little task up here, which has got the incorrect symbol. This is tourist attraction. Wants us to check out a road and see if it's still in place. Tourist attraction. Okay, so after we've fixed this bridge, they want us to check on that place. So yeah, we're now at the point of actually having to decide which gearbox we want. It's nice to have the options. At the minute, the options are balanced or off-road. Some trucks have like a special off-road gearbox which has a 0% fuel penalty for using all-wheel drive, but only certain trucks get that gearbox. But it's a pretty nice one. So I think maybe we just leave this truck with the balanced gearbox. We've never really needed low gear minus or low gear plus. Being in normal low gear with the diff locks on has got us out of all the trouble we've been into with this truck. That looks like a shortcut, but a really watery one. Yeah, like over here to get onto this side of the map and cut out maybe a big loop here. But that looks, I mean, do you see anything to winch onto down there? Because I sure as shit don't. Right, that'll be something we just stick in the back of our mind. There is a shortcut, but it looks horrible. if you get stuck in the mud down there, you're done. You're just going to have to get another truck and try and wedge yourself back out. And then you'll get that other truck stuck as well. And here we go. Right, one task done. Nice. I'm not seeing anywhere to turn around down here, so we'll just go over the bridge. All-wheel drive on, because I see a nasty hill. Of course, having it all-wheel drive off will put more of our 155 Newton meters in our rear wheels, but sometimes having it on is better because it gives you all-wheel traction. Okay, the other task wants us to go onto that little island there, I believe. Yes. Before we do that, I'm gonna go down here. Nope, we see the star sign, and that means a fuel station and what looks like a massive semi-trailer full of fuel. I'm just gonna drop this little trailer because it's not doing anything for us at the moment. Go fully fueled. New trailer discovered. Fuel carrier semi-trailer. Again, instead of concentrating on opening all the watchtowers and then activating all the tasks and then working out which order to do them, we're pretty much just gonna do them as we find them on this map. We did that in Island Lake and it worked absolutely fine. This is just a horrible muddy mud. But Mr. Paystar seems to be quite happy about that. Is there anything to winch onto in front of us? Not really. Hope we don't get stuck. Alright, OHD1 tyres. The logging tasks are just evil. There we go. Been on a map for about 10 minutes. We've completed 2 tasks and rebuilt a bridge. Got an upgrade, which is a fantastic upgrade. And hope that we didn't churn this muddy crossing up too much on the way in. Because the terrain does deform. We saw that when we were flipping this thing back over at the start of this episode. So just because you manage to drive a route in one direction doesn't mean you can drive it in the other direction, because you may have chewed up the terrain too much. Right, let's go and get this watchtower. A couple of ways to get to the watchtower. We can go back along the road, or we can go along this little gully. So we'll just go along the little gully. This gully right in front of us here. Watch out for the tree stumps. They will ruin your day. It's a little bit wet, but there's trees on the right hand side we can winch onto if we need them, but OHD1 tyres say no, I don't need no stinking winch points, which is good for them. It looks like one of these lost cargo containers in the river there. That's why I brought this trailer. So if we just go straight on and ignore the watchtower, I'll probably tip over because it's really horrible here. This was a bad idea. Oh dear. Yeah, that's one of the 3 lost containers that that person wanted for that contract. So hopefully we'll be able to crane it onto the back of that trailer, but that might be too far away. We shall soon see. Right, I think these weigh 2 tons each, but it's unpacked, so it should weigh considerably less. Is it a hope in heck of us getting the boom extended far enough to drop it onto the trailer? That is the question. And the answer seems to be kind of, sort of, maybe yes. I mean, it's not overly happy that I'm doing that. That is literally the extent of it. Crap. But is that in the trailer enough for it to pack? What do you think? It was! Now we're trying to reverse with the dolly trailer. This is a terrible idea. Is there another way out of here? Oh, holy crap. Maybe forward and through the trees to the right, but it looks a little bit tip-tastic that way as well. Can we winch the dolly trailer backwards? Yes, but that tree's going to snap. I don't want to pull the dolly trailer over. That would be bad. See, reversing with these dollies is just not a thing that happens. You just can't do it. Well, they've got us down here now. Now we're kind of stuck. Can we go off and through and up there? Kinda, maybe yes. Like that kind of thing. Do I want to go through all that mud? Is there anything to winch onto? We're just gonna have to go for it, I think. No, this is all just bad. Avoid the reeds because they'll be underwater mud. Hopefully avoid these rocks on the right because they look a little bit nasty. Hope that the trailer doesn't tip over too much. We'll just climb this little hill. Come on. Okay. That situation has resolved itself. Oh god. Where do these containers even go? Oh, all the way back there. Shall we just deliver it? And then go and get this one? Shall we just do that? Let's just do that. We'll just knock out 2 of the 3 and we'll worry about the 3rd one later. And then we'll go to that watchtower. The whole reason we came here was to go to the watchtower, and I got distracted because I saw this cargo container out of the corner of my eye. And just fill up on fuel at any opportunity. I know we were pretty much full anyway, but you never know what might happen. Might get distracted by something else and go and do something else or find a new task. So yeah, you saw the limitations of the dolly trailers. Reversing with them, you just can't do it because they've got too many points of rotation. Like the front dolly is an axle which rotates, and the pintle which attaches you to your truck also rotates, and they're very close together. And most of the time the dolly trailers are really top heavy and tippy anyway. So as soon as you reverse into it too much, it tries to tip over. Like, just let gravity take me down this hill. Thank you. This is the turn off that leads to the wood area, so we'll just go down here. Be careful, there's a couple of tree stumps here, kind of hiding. Turn on my terrible lights. There we go. And there's another empty trailer here. There we go. Okay then, next container is here. It looks like it's a wide enough space to drive forward and get ourselves out. Are we close enough to grab that with the crane from where we are? Come on, Mr. Boom Arm. Give me that lovely white dot. Yes, we are. Jolly good. I didn't have to go all the way down on the shore. Looks like we can just hang a left and drive straight out. Now we're leaning to the left, so I'm going to move the cargo to the right to try and balance ourselves out a little bit. Come on. Come on. Okay, now it's airborne. We know from experience that at the very limit of this boom's extension it can reach onto that trailer. Hopefully, the last one did. Hopefully this one will as well. Oh, don't get caught. Don't get caught. Right, you know what? That's fine. I'll just kind of hope it doesn't roll back out. Is that close enough to get packed? Restore the crane, get that out of the way. Yes, it was. It was lying on its side at a jaunty angle, but it was good enough for the game. And that is good enough for me. It's getting a little bit dark. So we'll just spin the time on so we can see what we're doing. Very carefully reverse. And then pull ourselves round. And back to where we came from. Alright, cool. To deliver that. Whilst we're here, I'm gonna go and rescue our semi-trailer which has the big cargo on it, and I'm gonna take it all the way to the fuel station and leave it there. Kind of move it a little bit closer to the port. That's me full again, and then we'll leave the trailer right here. Right, you chill out there, I'll get you to the port one of these days. But at least it's not quite so far away to go and get it now. Okay, watchtower time, let's go. Through the little ravine, which is like a little hidden shortcut. There's the watchtower dead ahead. And a really narrow bridge. So I'm not going to use the bridge. I'm going to use my all-wheel drive and my OHD1 tyres and my 155 Newton meter engine. I'm just going to drive around it. And there's another task here called Of Bridges and Men. Is that a wooden plank? Is that what wooden planks look like? No. Wooden planks is two little stacks. So I don't know what that is. But it looks like it might be used to make Of Bridges and Men. So we'll go and get Of Bridges and Men and see what it needs and whether or not whatever this icon is needed for that. And what we have here is the truck I've been waiting for to do logging. So we'll get that as well, because that thing is an absolute monster. What you see in the air there is the no entry sign. That's the edge of the map. It's very well demarcated. Not like some open world games that just don't have visible borders, and when you hit the border it just says you cannot go that way. And this game has very obvious video game walls, because again it's not a truck simulator, it is a strategy video game. Again, just avoid these little bridges. They're too narrow, they're too weak, so just avoid them if you can. Oh, it looks like a wooden slab. Wooden slab? Concrete slab. Wooden slab, what an idiot. Oh, bridges and men. Yes, we need to build another bridge. And it needs 2 wooden planks from the logging station. And not this concrete slab. But I'm going to drag the concrete slab close to the main road, just so it's on hand. if and when we need it for something. Very similar to what we did with Island Lake. Anything that looks useful, we'll drag it onto the main road and leave it there so it's within easy reach if we do need it later. In planning, decision making, problem solving. And now we're off to get Big Boy. Ow. The fuel tank. This is a little bit nasty. Here we go. And we literally just get it for finding it. This is the Pacific P16. It is an absolute beast of a machine. As you can tell, it's much larger than the Paystar. It's very, very heavy. The tyres it has are OHT1, but it only has this one set of tyres. That's it. It has these tyres and these tyres only, unless, of course, you have the Jack of all trades paid DLC cheat DLC. But usually you just get these tyres. But they have a special coating. Because they're Pacific OHT1, they have an additional rating. You'll notice this thing has a high gear, because it has a high gearbox, I think. And I think it's got its own special gearbox as well. And it has diff locks. It has no ability to ever have all-wheel drive. And the best thing about this thing is the horn. Yeah. So this thing having diff lock on all the time, even though it's rear wheel drive, means that the 8 rear tyres all spin at the same rate all the time. But it doesn't ever have all wheel drive, and that becomes a bit of a problem at times. And another issue with this truck is that it cannot have very many upgrades on the back. Like, it's only 3 or 4 of them. And on this map, in its current configuration, as you see, it's got nothing on the back at the moment. It has nothing fitted. So all it can do at the minute is pull trailers. And we're just going to use it to pull this trailer back to the fuel station. Then we'll probably recover this. And we'll have a little chat back in Smithfield Dam. I mean, it's hugely powerful, and the diff lock on the rear does make a difference. As we see, it does have a rear attachment point, so it can pull regular trailers, but it can't do anything else. So we'll just get this thing back to the main road. And then we'll have a nice little chat. Again, I'm not going to drive over these bridges because they're way too narrow for this thing. So instead I'm just going to drive through this little muddy bit here and drive around the bridges. Because I'm pretty sure this thing can make it, even though it's not got all-wheel drive. This truck is tremendously heavy. It's very, very heavy. That makes it quite stable. You actually have to try quite hard to tip a P16. Unlike that trailer, which damn near tipped itself over. Let's see, we're coming round the back of the fuel station. That's fine. Let's just leave this trailer at the fuel station along with the other one. It's not got the best turning circle either. It's quite appalling actually. I really want to go this side of the fuel station. There we go. I'm going to abandon this thing here, and we're going to recover. All the way back to Smithfield Dam. Boom. Big boy. Okay, customize. It's got 175,000 nanometers, and you can instantly buy the upgraded engine, which has 190,000. The Paystar has 155, so this is 190. This will put it power to weight B, because remember, it's got lots more power. It's got a more powerful engine, but it weighs a lot more. Gearbox, special, advanced special, Explore Alaska. That is the one that has 0 penalty for using all-wheel drive, but this truck can't even have all-wheel drive. And because this thing cannot have all-wheel drive, I'm not sure what the extra bonus of having the advanced special is. It probably just has low gear minus and low gear plus. Fine tune is really weird. It's got low gear plus, low gear minus, and low gear, and lots of little gradients in between that you can slide up with your mouse. And it's got a stonking great big 80% bonus or 80% penalty to all-wheel drive fuel use. So you can use fine tune on this because it doesn't have all-wheel drive. Suspension, stock and only stock. No race suspension. Tyres. This is the only tyres it has. The only tyres it can ever get. Again, it's got the full set of heavy winches. But this is the problem. You get a saddle high, so it can pull big trailers. And it's got a pull trailer front. This is for pulling long logs. And this needs an accompanying trailer you buy from the trailer store, which, because they're in Smithfield, is literally right here. I mean, this can pull any standard trailer. What we're looking for is specific P16 log trailer. So that's how you would move long logs. And you get 12 tons of long logs on here, and they stick out way beyond the trailer. So this thing's got enough power to do that. But I did say I was waiting before I found this truck before we did logging, but I'm not going to use this truck to do logging. We're going to store it. We're going to go to the truck store and we're going to find the heavy trucks. What I want to do is to sell our P16 and buy a P12 instead. As we see here, this has switchable all-wheel drive. It's got 57-inch tyres, the same as this. It's got a larger fuel capacity, the same power to weight, and there's a few other good things about that. So we'll go to our truck storage, we'll sell the P16. It's going to be 146,700 bucks. So all of a sudden we've got 192 grand. We're rich. Truck store. Heavy. P12. Purchase and deploy. This is the P12, very similar to the P16. It's got the same kind of engines, same gearbox, only stock suspension, but this has the full range of tyres, including mud tyres. Now remember, as I said, mud tyres are crap because OHD ones are better. We're going to use this truck instead, so we're going to buy the better engine, we're going to sell that engine. We're going to buy OHD ones because they're magnificent. We're going to sell these specific all-terrains, which are absolutely awful. We need to be rank 14 to get the chains, but that's fine. We're rank 13 now. We'll get an extended heavy winch on it. It can carry spare wheels, and it has a huge gamut of add-ons, including the Lifting King 2NY, biggest crane in the game. As I said, only a few vehicles can have it. They need to have a long enough chassis to have it. And here's the multi-purpose cargo module I was telling you about. It has 450 repair parts, 250 fuel, 4 spare wheels, 1 slot of cargo, and a crane. So this is pretty cool. I mean, you pull a 4-slot ramped cargo thing behind this, and it can have a massive range. The truck itself has got 350 fuel. This add-on carries another 250, so that's 600 fuel. So this will go all over the place. Kind of fuel tanks, large maintenance frame add-on, which has 2,000 fuel, 350 repair, and 6 spare wheels. But it cannot. But that takes up your rear towing hook, so you can't tow anything else. Saddle high. It cannot have saddle low. It's too tall of a vehicle to have a saddle low. Fire tank for water. The ramp towing platform that you can drive. You can lower this ramp and then drive other vehicles on and pack them. Short logging frame, medium logging frame, and the log carrier front for the long logs. So this is the thing we're going to be using for doing all the logging, and it's also really useful for doing other things, because we see I'm not sure why you would use a heavy crane when you've got the option of the LK2NY. You would use the LK2NY every time. And that log loader crane is like the fairground grabby claw things, you know, that picks up the plush toys and drops them down a chute. And it's just about as powerful as them as well. It's terrible. That's if you're manually doing logs, like in hard mode. Usually you go to a log station and just get them instantly packed on your vehicle. But in hard mode, you deploy them on the ground and pick them up with this and then drop them into your trailer, and it's just an absolute disaster. So yeah, this is the thing we're going to be using for logging. Short, medium and long. And it's really useful as well for other things. It's really quite long, and as we see, it comes with diff lock always on, same as the P16 was, which means that all of these 8 rear wheels will always move at the same rate, and it comes as standard with all-wheel drive. And the horn is mediocre, but this is actually a more capable truck than the P16. The P12 is a fantastic truck, but at the moment we're not using it. We are on Drummond Island with our little Paystar. And here we are back on Drummond Island. Now, I don't want to do the logging contracts. We're doing with bridges and men. So we need to go all the way back to the logging station, pick up one of these sideboards, get 2 wooden planks, come all the way back along here, fix this bridge, and then we'll get over the bridge and try and get the other 2 watchtowers. Yeah, let's get one of these 2 trailers. Sideboard trailer, I choose you. Get 2 wooden planks and go and build another bridge, which of course will not just open the route for us, but it will be another task complete, and that will be more experience on the way to rank 14. Rank 14 is when you unlock the chained tyres for all your big trucks, like your off-road trucks and your heavy trucks. We do already have chain tyres open for our heavy duty trucks, the Fleet Star and the White Western, but we do not have them unlocked for the Lodestar. If we still had the Chevy Scout or the Scout 800 or any other Scout, we probably would have chains. I think they unlock at rank 10 or 12. But because the Lodestar is a hybrid off-road Scout, it has to wait until rank 14 to get the off-road chain tyres. Not that I'm considering skipping ahead to Alaska, because we're doing just fine in Michigan, thank you very much. But it does again prove the point that it is good to play the game in a linear fashion. Like, just hang out in Michigan until you complete it. Treat it as a tutorial, 100% it. I'm not going to 100%, I'm going to like 87% because I'm not going to do the contests, because I don't like timed tasks and I don't like the fact that you can repeat them infinitely for infinite XP and infinite money. So I'm not going to do them. But yeah, it's good to hang out in Michigan until you're at a decent level so that you can get chains on all your vehicles. And then you can go to Alaska and play around on the ice. That's the other way to get the task. This little bit up ahead is a bit of a mud pit, so we'll just try and stick to the right and not go right through it. As you can tell, it's really quite deep. There's a couple of trees to winch onto, but the trees are getting a little bit more sparse on this map. And as I said, there is no garage and no trailer store. Nice. Right, we've spun the time round to 6 AM again because it was getting too dark to see over our newly built bridge. I'm just dragging this trailer with me because I can't think of what else to do with it. It doesn't weigh very much, it hasn't got any cargo in the back, so it's not doing any harm. Bit of a muddy steep hill here, so just again drive around it if you can, get your wheels in the dirt. This looks like another mud pit here, so I'm going to stick to the right where all the trees are and follow the road around to the right and try not to drive into that birch tree. There we go. This looks a little bit muddy and horrible. Looks like a service trailer here. Is it a service trailer? Yes, it is. What we have here is another notorious mud pit. It goes pretty much all the way down to that big rock at the end. So again, I'm just going to drive on the dirt as much as I can. And then we'll cut across to the right. Driving across the mud pit instead of through it, so we're closer to the other trees and the power lines. Again, I don't want to drive straight through the mud, I'm just driving around it because I'm smart. There we go. Nice. Right, where are we now? Looks like the next watchtower is down this way. That looks horrible. I think I'll maybe leave the trailer here. I'm just pulling this dead weight for no reason, and I can't think what else to do with it, so I'll probably just abandon it at the next junction. Again, it's just so we've got an empty trailer at this side of the map, and we've got another one down at the logging station. Just so if we need a trailer, there's one within easy reach pretty much wherever we are on the map. We're going off to the right, but I'm going to leave the trailer here. Ooh, I see asphalt. What the heck? Means you can turn all-wheel drive off. Wow, we haven't seen any asphalt for a while. Hello. That was my turn. I can see the watchtower. It's on this little island thing. This looks a little bit wet. And indeed it is, but there's trees on the right and the power line on the left. But I don't think we're going to need either of those. No, jolly good. And we've got a bit of a muddy river crossing. I don't want to drive through the reeds, because reeds means mud. I haven't even got all-wheel drive on. Didn't even need all-wheel drive. Alright, Mr. Paystar. Now, to get to the watchtower, you need to turn left. But I ain't going up there. Because if we see, this is very, very narrow, and it's a hairpin bend, and then it gets even narrower. Even the Lodestar Scout will struggle to get up here, and anything else you put up there will get flipped on its side. So we ain't getting to that watchtower from this direction. And I'm going to investigate this big trailer here. You can't really see round the corner. In fact, you know what? We'll try photo mode. We'll try photo mode in free cam, and I'll show you what this looks like. Yeah. See that? It's really narrow. And now, photo mode, we're at the edge of it. Just round this corner, it gets even narrower. So we ain't going up that way in this truck. Okay, there's a trailer with metal beams and looks like something else on the back of it, so we'll try and drag that back up onto the main road. I'm assuming we're going to need them for something. And there's a farm symbol, which is what? I'm not getting any view task or use cargo, so I don't know what this is. It's probably one of the logging destinations. But oh god, this is going to be a heavy trailer. That's 11 tons of weight. That's a concrete slab and metal beams. But I don't think they need to be here on this farm, so we're going to take them back with us, and we're going to go back to the main road. Looks like another shortcut that goes that way. I mean, ew, I don't want to do that. That looks horrible. But it looks to be a scout trailer here. Anyway, I just want to get this trailer to there, and then we'll abandon it there so it's on the main road. Because I'm sure we're going to need these resources for something. And whilst I'm here, I might as well grab them. Out of the way, big rock. Out of the way. Thank you. Not had to shift down to first there, but that's okay. I thought we'd come to a halt, but it wasn't. The truck was just shifting gear. Big rock nearly tipped over the trailer. That would have been annoying, but not fatal. We do have a crane which is able to lift both of these units of cargo. Let's see if we can get back over this river crossing without putting all-wheel drive on. Try the swimming method. Nah, all-wheel drive has to go on. We need all the wheels pulling. The rear wheels were just starting to spin and dig themselves into the mud. Can we drive on that tree, get some grip? Yep, good, nice. Well, it made it halfway across without needing all-wheel drive, but we didn't have to go low gear and diff lock, so that's something. OHD ones for the win, and 155 Newton meter engine for the win. Can it make it up this hill with this 11-ton load, plus the weight of the trailer? The answer to that seems to be yes. Nice. I think the next thing we'll do, we'll pick up the sideboard trailer, get the final special cargo, then go all the way along the main road and finish this lost delivery thing just to get another task scratched off. And then we'll come all the way back up the main road again and we'll investigate the road to the port, which seems to be this way, and we'll try and come in this side to get this watchtower. I have taken the opportunity off camera just to drive all the way back to the fuel station, got some fuel and came back up here. What is this? Again, it's the wrong icon. It's a flag, so it thinks it's a timed contest, but it's not. Forged by the sea. Cargo ship washed ashore. And that's literally just go and explore the abandoned ship. But we'll do that when we're doing this other watchtower. So that was the cargo ship that we saw at the very start of this map. There's a cargo container ship lying on its side and it's lost all its cargo, so they want me to go and check it out. Oh, okay then. This looks a little bit tricky to get to. What I'm going to detach the trailer here, because we know that you cannot really reverse with these dolly trailers. They just don't reverse. And there's nowhere near enough room down there to turn around without tipping over. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do this in stages. I'm just going to lift the cargo can as far up this hill as I can. Extend the boom, hope you get the white dot, lovely. And then I'll just reposition the truck and do that again. I mean, you don't have to do it in a single operation. You can do all the tasks in the game however you so wish. There is no set way to do them. It's open world. It's a sandbox. We're tipping to the left, so I'm going to move... We're tipping to the right, so I'm going to move the cargo to the left. It's probably good enough. I'll just drop it there. Hope it doesn't roll too far. Oh, that looks good. Restore the crane, take the handbrake off. All-wheel drive and reverse back out. Do the same thing. Just pull the cargo closer to my trailer. Why would you go down there in the mud and all that horribleness and try and reverse out or do a wacky 3-point turn and winching yourself to stop yourself tipping over? Just do it in stages. Okay, this seems to be the limit of what this boom can do. That's fine. I'll just gently place it here. There we go. Restore crane. Then we'll reverse and get the trailer. We need to turn around. It looks like there is a little through road here, but it looks quite narrow, especially there. That looks very narrow. I do not want to try and get between these two rocks, so I'm going to turn around before I do anything else, or make sure that I have space to turn around. This actually looks pretty good. It looks like we can turn around here, no trouble at all. That's good. So hook the trailer on, get the crane out, put out my tiny outriggers, which are almost useless, but they do help. And we'll get this thing on the back of the wagon. I think we're right on the limit of what the boom can do, but I think that's going to be okay. We'll just pack the cargo. Yep, that works. Restore crane. Okay, all the way back down here. Oh, the map has spun itself round. Again, we could look at doing this little shortcut that we saw, but I don't really want to because there's nothing to winch onto. And we know there's a fuel station on this map, so it doesn't matter if we take the long way round because it's the safe way round. So I guess I'm not going to show you the way back. I guess I will meet you guys at the wood station. There's been a slight problem. I was coming down this hill to the little bridge, the first bridge that we fixed, and I went a little bit too fast. And I tried to stop, and the trailer kept moving, and it hit the back of my truck, and it's flipped the cargo right out. So, not great, but luckily I've got a crane. Unfortunately, it's going to be a little bit difficult to get it back on where we are just now. So I'm just going to dangle it and drive until the trailer's on the flat, like that. Oh, what a doofus. What an absolute doofus. That's why you want to have a crane. Now, is that going to stay there? Looks like it. Is it good enough to pack? Looks like it. Yep, right, fine, nothing happened. Nothing to report. See what I mean about when you do the same route multiple times, you're actually in more danger the more times you do it. First couple of times you do a route, you're really slow and methodical and careful and observant, and then after the third or fourth time you've done a route, you get a little bit blasé, and then things like that happen. I mean, that's true in the real world as much as it is in game. I mean, you look at the car crash statistics. Most car crashes happen within a couple of miles of your own house because it's roads you go up and down all day every day, and your brain just goes on autopilot and you're not paying attention. Boom, car crash. Exactly the same thing happens in this game. It's a psychological phenomenon. And done. I'm going to take this trailer back with me, and I'm going to kind of leave it up on this side of the map because there's no point having two empty trailers down here. We'll have one empty trailer here in case we need more logs. There's nothing on here. I might want to go here. There's all these like Anderson shelters here. I want to see what is on this little trailer here. So I'll take my trailer with me because I believe that is a Scout flatbed, and obviously I can't pull Scout flatbeds, but if there's something on it, what we can do is use our crane to tip that little Scout flatbed over and spill whatever it's carrying on the floor, and then we can pick it up and stick it on our little red trailer and then take it back to the main road. Ah, we're seeing yellow hatchings as well. This is a contest. And the Scout trailer. Here's the contest. We're not doing that. We don't do contests. And we got 30 XP. Right, let's tip over this little Scout trailer. Just gonna... Yeah, get it. God damn. How did the metal beams not fall off when I did that? God. What the hell? Right. Shorten the boom. And flip. Hey, there they go. How did they not fall off when it was literally vertical? Oh, Snowrunner never ceases to amaze and baffle and confuse. This is a little bit heavier than these cabins that we were pulling earlier, but it is on another metal beams. You never know where or when we might need it, so I'm gonna... Is it gonna stay there or is it gonna fall out? It's not close enough. Okay, I didn't think it was. we were unable to pack the cargo. It wasn't quite on the trailer enough. Is that going to be good enough for you? Heyo! Right. So we've now got, what, 2 metal beams and 2 concrete slabs that we found. Okay, here we are just over the second bridge that leads from the fuel station. I'm just going to leave the trailer here for a moment and we're going to take the left hand fork now. The right hand fork goes through the big mud pit up to the port. I want to go this way. The sign that says truck parking. Looks like another splishy splashy shortcut which will go over here and link to that road. Potentially another shortcut you can take, but that hill looks really steep on the other side. It doesn't look like there's anything in the water to winch onto. Potentially possible in low gear with diff locks on, but because there's a fuel station on the map, I'd rather just take the main road and go the long way round and fuel up halfway through. Maybe if I was doing the contests, maybe there's a contest which would be quicker if you can do that route, but I don't see any need to do that. Well, we made it through that little river crossing. We can see a watchtower, but I'm not sure this is the way to get to it. Another trailer. This is cargo management. This wants medium logs. It's a trailer with another concrete slab on it, and there's another task here. Cousin Cletus, he's lost some cargo. And what Cousin Cletus has lost is some oil barrels. 2 of them. One here, which is kind of where we're going, and one here, which is also kind of where we're going. Okay, let's drag this trailer all the way back to the main road. So that's now 3 concrete slabs and 2 metal beams we found in various trailers on this map. I'm assuming they're going to be used for something, because I sure as hell haven't found any warehouses. You will notice that. The only warehouse that actually produces anything is the wood station, and that just gives us infinite wood planks. We have found no source of anything else. There's no garage, there's no trailer store, there's nowhere else to get any other kind of resource. And yeah, we're finding all these resources, don't know what we're going to need them for, but I'm assuming we're going to need them for some reason, so we'll just pull them up here. Even if it turns out we do not need these resources, we've at least got all the trailers along the main road, so I can pick them up and maybe find a trailer store somewhere on another map. But we're just grinding our way there, slowly but steadily. Okay, looks like we're at this junction, that's good. I like that, that's very good indeed. I was going to leave them on the apex, but I think I'm just going to drive straight ahead and just leave them kind of behind these road markings. Looks like I can maybe scoot around behind the other trailer, maybe. Sorta, kinda. Like that. Release winch, detached trailer. Oh, road signs doing physicsy things. Yeah, we're kind of half empty on fuel. I'm going to go all the way back to the fuel station, get refueled, and pick up that other trailer and bring it here. Right, so we've now got 2 concrete slabs and 2 metal beams stationed kind of here. And here we are back at Cargo Junction, that's what we're going to call it. And you'll notice I have no cargo. That's because I went all the way back to the wood station and I picked up the empty trailer because I realised we would need to have some way of actually picking up Cousin Cletus's oil barrels. So we'll drop the concrete slab one there. We'll go down this road to the right, pick up one of Cletus's oil barrels. Maybe see if there's anything in here. And then we'll try and get the other oil barrel and then get to this watchtower. We need to go this way because that's the watchtower we're trying to get to. We know we can't get to it from this side. So we're going to go this side instead. There's lots of these little rocky, narrow paths in this map. I don't usually use them because, as I said repeatedly, there is a fuel station on this map. It's centrally located, so you can always just nip back and get some fuel. Ooh, cousin Cletus, what have you done? Well, there's his oil barrel. What is that we see? Down at the bottom of the hill, looks like a rusty car with a task around it, so that's probably an upgrade. We should go and get that at some point. Right. I think we're probably close enough to grab that with the crane from where we are. That were easily within range. That's a good thing about the crane range. It only operates horizontally. Vertically it doesn't really count. It doesn't weigh very much. It's only 1.5 tons. It's quite a small little packet. We like that. So we should have no trouble at all getting this on the trailer. He says getting it stuck on the trailer. There you go. The boom's kind of failing. Is that going to be good enough? Yep, good. Right, that's one of Cletus's oil barrels. So I'm just going to leave the trailer here. And I'm going to try and get that upgrade. Oh, we have another trailer here, which seems to have metal beams on it. And a task. And they need us to build a bridge. What bridge do they need us to make? It's a big Drummond bridge, and it needs metal beams, concrete slab, and it needs metal beams, concrete blocks. Concrete blocks we don't have. We've got 3 concrete slabs, but we ain't got no blocks. That's annoying. No, we'll keep exploring the map. We might find a trailer with concrete blocks on it. Just be careful down this hill, it's very narrow. You're kinda meant to do this in a scout, but Paystar's fine. This bit's nice, it's all rocky. Rocks is good, rocks is grip, rocks is life. And hello Mr. Upgrade, what are you? You are a 190,000 Newton meter engine for the P12, the P16 and the Ankh Civilian. Alright, both of those trucks just got better. This is quite a nice river crossing. As you see, it's rocky. So rocky and then up that hill. And then that'll let you get to the port. So theoretically, I could go and get sideboard semi-trailer, try and take it down this narrow hill and onto the port that way, but I don't think we're in any rush to do that stuff. I think we'll just build the bridge first. I think I'm going to leave that sideboard there, and we're going to... I'm not sure if we have to fix the bridge to get over to this watchtower. It looks like we might have to, because if that's where the bridge building thing is, I don't think we're going to be able to get to this watchtower until we built the bridge. So let's build the bridge. 1 metal beams, 1 concrete slab. That is right there on that trailer. So let's go and get that trailer, turn around and then deliver it there. Okay, let's do the first part of this bridge construction. Nice. Now we need 1 metal beams and 1 concrete blocks. Let's leave this trailer here. Go and get one of our trailers that's got a metal beam, deliver it here, and then we'll try and find out where the concrete blocks come from. Down this hill, deliver the metal beams. And now we're not getting any pickup, because we've known previously that if there is that resource anywhere on the map, even under a black or a grey zone, you'll get a yellow pickup. and we're not getting any. So we're going to have to work out where we can get concrete blocks from. We're on Drummond Island. This links to Smithfield Dam and Island Lake. So have a look on Island Lake. No yellow pickup. How's Smithfield Dam? Ah, this warehouse says concrete blocks and metal beams and wooden planks. And luckily, the gateway to Drummond Island is just here, so we can find the other gateway that links to there. We can actually go to a trailer store and a warehouse. And I believe that is along this road, and that's it right there. So that is the plan now. We'll take our empty trailer with us, if we can get turned around. And we'll go and... God, it only wants one concrete... That's just insulting, man. It wants one concrete blocks. A couple of tasks there we'll investigate when we get back, because we're kind of running out of fuel. Here's the gateway, just here. Excellent. And we're back in Smithfield Dam. If we turn left, that leads us down that really steep hill to the river crossing. This is the warehouse up here on the left, and just up ahead on the right is the trailer store, and we've made it with just enough fuel. I'll sell this trailer, buy a maintenance, repair and refuel, and I'll probably buy a flatbed trailer instead of one of these sideboard things, because I hate them. They're too tippy and I don't like them. Alright, 42 litres to spare. There we go. That's everything we wanted. The flatbed trailer is just so much better. It sits lower, it's got way more tyres, it's much more stable, it's heavier. And if your cargo pops off, it probably won't fall out, because these red poles are really quite high. It keeps your cargo on the flatbed. Even if you tip the trailer up, sometimes when you flip it back on its wheels, the red things will keep the cargo inside it, so you can just repack and then continue. Right, one concrete block. One concrete block. So although there is not a trailer store on Drummond Island, this one is so close to the gateway that it might as well be. So anytime you really need a new trailer, just pop through the northwest exit of Drummond Island, come here and buy yourself a new trailer. I'm going to leave this trailer here just for a moment, because I want to see what this task is, and I didn't want to have to reverse with the dolly trailer. Always keep in mind what kind of trailer you've got. Mud wrestling. Mud wrestling is... oh god. Go all the way down here and get a car and bring it all the way back up here. I'll do that later. I've got more important things to do, like build a bridge. To be careful here, it is quite narrow, and these barriers will damage you if you touch them. I spy a little bit of a shortcut here, so let's hope that the trailer makes it between these two little tiny trees. It didn't even make it through the big tree. Yeah, it's not great, so we'll just do a bit of a winchy. A winchy out. And up we go. Come on, doofus, get moving. Yeah, I think the trailer's stuck. Yeah, it was a trailer that was stuck. I didn't think this truck would struggle to get up this hill on its own. It didn't. It was just a trailer. It was being stupid. That's a nice little shortcut. Cuts out all of that. Alright, let's get this bridge built. Nice. Okay, now we've built that bridge, we should be able to go and get Cousin Cletus's other oil barrel from here. So we're going to have to go up the hill, get that sideboard trailer, and then come down here and work out how to get to there. And then I also really wanted to come and get this watchtower as well. Right, now we've got the first of Cletus's barrels. Let's go and get the second lot. And I think the road to the port is now open, so we could do that massive contract now and deliver the drilling equipment to the port. Might as well deliver Cletus's oil barrels back to Cletus, because that is on the way to that place anyway. That's on the way back to the fuel place where we left the trailer in the first place. Cool. First journey over our new bridge. Nice. Goodness sake. Okay, this looks like a turn off here. Alright, Cletus, I'm coming for your oil barrels. Let's turn all-wheel drive on. Oh, this looks all kinds of off-camber. Yeah, let's just tickle the accelerator in here, shall we? We is in the woods. And it's all a little bit... Ew. Yeah, you don't want to attempt this at any kind of speed, do you? Just take it slow. Keep the camera on the move. Try and spot problems before you stumble on them. This looks like a great big mud pit down here, but I don't think there's any way around it, so we're just going to have to hope and pray that the OHD ones and the all-wheel drive takes care of it, which it seems to be doing. Okay, this mud pit seems to be going all the way up this hill. This may not be fun. So let's low gear diff lock it. And then we'll just crawl our way up. Again, I was trying to stick to the left, but not too close to the left because then we'd snag on these tree branches. Where does the trail go? Okay, between these two trees. That's not going to be fun because tree branches. And then it goes right to the right. But we need to remember that we're hauling a trailer. Alright, that's where Cletus's oil barrels are. Looks like we can get up on that, so we'll do that. Go back to normal. Normal gears. And then, oh God, where does the trail go? Oh, Jesus. Okay, it literally just hairpins here then, does it? Okay. I think this little tree on the left is one that we can knock down. Yeah, good. Right, and similarly to the previous time, I'm going to leave the trailer there. And I'm going to go and get that oil barrel myself, and then we'll stick it on the trailer. And then find someone else to turn around, if we're going to turn around. Oh, sweet Lord. Right. Can we reach this oil? Looks like it. Give me the white dot. Yep, nice, good. I'm sure that they've moved this a little bit closer, because I have distinct memories of you having to reverse in or drive in and get your one of your wheels over this lip just in front of me here to be able to get the range to snag that barrel. I'm sure it was much further, it was down here somewhere, but I think they've moved it a little bit closer. As I said, they have been improving the early stages of the game, because I like challenging games, but this was just like nasty, and it was putting people off and people would stop playing the game at this point. That's why they've made it a little bit easier than the starting zones. So we'll restore the crane. We'll get rid of that waypoint because it's not doing anything. And that trailer's trying to fall down that hill all on its own. I don't particularly want it to. So I'm going to position myself here. This may not be a smart move. I'm hoping that the boom can reach over the other, because we're at an angle to the trailer as opposed to straight on with it. Okay, okay. That looks not crap. That looks very not crap. What are you doing? I said restore crane. Okay, now we have to try and hook into the trailer and pack the cargo. Trailer hooked. 2 of Cletus's oil barrels packed. We're going to have to find somewhere to turn around. I think we're just going to have to go down the hill. Maybe turn around at that watchtower. Because remember, you can't really do a 3-point turn with a dolly trailer. Yeah, this is a little nasty, so we'll diff lock it because the rear tyres were just spinning and kicking up water and digging themselves into a hole. This is more difficult than it should be because we're dragging lots of weight behind ourselves. There's very few things to winch onto as well. I took that really wide because I knew we had our trailer following behind. I didn't want the rear wheels of the trailer to slip off down that hill. Because it could and probably would have taken me with it. I'm still not found anywhere flat for us to turn around, but we'll knock that tree out of the way. Ay caramba. I am not taking the trailer there. I'm leaving the trailer here. No way I'm taking the trailer up here. In fact, I'm gonna Spider-Man my way around this corner. I don't trust this at all. Yeah, I think that was a smart idea. Yeah. Again, watch out for the mud, because it could be deeper on the right than it is on the left and tip us down the hill. I don't trust the strength of that little tree on the left. Oh good, lots of tree stumps to get caught on. Lovely. Oh, we found a watchtower. And I'm not seeing anything else pop up. So yeah, just the mud wrestling one. We know what that is. Go down here and get this car and take it all the way back up there. Don't think we've got enough fuel to do that at the moment, have we? Probably not. Might have to come back and do that later. And on the way back, I'm gonna winch to the birch. Because I don't trust this corner. And hopefully we'll be able to pull the trailer round, maybe, if we're lucky. Just pull it close enough that I can hitch on. Kind of, sort of. Oh god, it's really unhappy, isn't it? I don't want to try and drag the back end of the trailer round, because with these trailers it'll probably just tip over. And it's trying, isn't it? It's trying to tip over. So if we connect that end, that bit of it, to that tree in that manner, it will drag it backwards and stop it from tipping over. And lo and behold, we have turned ourselves around. We cannot fit down this road, so we're going to have to go all the way along, and all the way back, and all the way along. Ugh, this is going to be tight for fuel. But we have got Cousin Cletus's oil tanks. Well, we did have Cousin Cletus's oil tanks until we tipped the trailer over, so that's not great. And there's nothing to winch it onto either. That's fantastic. Well, I've screwed this up. Oh, if we had the extended winch, we could have reached that, but we don't, so I can't. So we're just going to have to detach the trailer. Ah, shit, I'm just gonna have to abandon that crap where it is and go and get some fuel for myself and then come back and fix it all. God damn it. I think it's safe to say we made the correct decision to abandon that mess when we did, because we have 21 litres of fuel remaining. Wow. Right, I'm going to deliver this piece of shit to the port because the road is now finally open all the way. My cousin Cletus can get his oil barrels on a different day. I mean, we'd done the hard part. We'd got the barrels, we'd turned the trailer around, and then just wasn't watching the back wheels of the trailer, and down they went, down the hill, and that was that. Luckily the truck didn't tip. So, small mercies. Right, let's go. Let's get this thing to the port. Okay, here we are. We've got the fuel, we've got the big trailer. We're on the way to the port. This is the first stretch of road we haven't seen in quite some time, so we'll just do it together. Just to preserve fuel, I'm keeping all-wheel drive off. We've got a semi-trailer, so we've got lots of weight pressing down on the rear axle. We don't particularly need the front wheels to be scrabbling around for purchase, we'll just rely on everything else. That's where we turned right and got into trouble with Cletus's bloody oil barrels. And this is virgin territory for us coming up ahead. The road to the port is actually quite nice. It's a mix of mud, dirt and asphalt. Building the bridges to get here is the difficult part. We've done all that. I believe if you go down there, you can make that river crossing, and that's where we got the upgrade, the big engine for the P12 and the Ankh, which we'll have to install at some point. I believe that's the top of the line engine for these trucks, so they're maxed out pretty much already. And just a mix of thin layers of mud on top of a nice dirt road. A couple of big rocks to drive around. Nothing too harsh. Watch out for the tree stumps on the right hand side. And asphalt at last. Didn't even need all-wheel drive. No, I'm not stopping. I'm delivering cargo. Let me through. Here we are at the port. Oh, hello, gigantic mission trailer. I'll be dealing with you later, I suppose. Rank 14 because of that 590 XP drop. And that now means we can get chained tyres on all of our trucks, including the Lodestar. Okay. Did that open anything else? Out with the old. Deliver to the drilling site with Smithfield Dam this massive trailer. Saddle high. Could use the P12 for that, or the Ankh. Probably use the Ankh. And then it wants 2 metal beams and an oil rig drill. Gives us 2 warehouse access apparently, and drilling operations underway for the Global Progress. Everything else is locked behind that. I'll just uncover this bit of the port and then we'll get the hell out of here. Probably go and sell that trailer at the trailer store in Smithfield Dam. And then we'll come back and have a look at that watchtower, and there's another task which is literally go to the abandoned ship and see what's there. And that's good, we're rank 14, which means Alaska is now pretty much open. We can get chain tires on all the trucks we own, which is great. And pretty much by the time you finish Alaska, if you do every task and every contract, you should be just about level 30. So you max out the levels in the game really early. Again, they're designed specifically to make the beginning of the game harder, but then they made all these changes that made the beginning of the game easier, so you know, game balance is a tricky thing to get right. Right, here we are in Smithfield Dam. We made it back here, no trouble at all. We're just going to sell this trailer and then we'll bring this episode to a close. In the next episode, I think I'm going to use the White Western Star to go and get Cletus's oil barrels for two reasons. One, it's got a 300 litre fuel tank, so it won't run out of fuel like this thing damn near did. And two, it's already got a giant crane mounted on it, and that will make retrieving them much easier, because it will be able to really pull that really lightweight trailer around really easily, and it will easily get both the oil tanks. Because as we know, this little crane can only barely reach the first cargo slot of a trailer. A big crane will reach both of them, no trouble at all. And also what we're going to do next time is we're going to get the Lodestar and we're going to bring it all the way up this mountain and through this gateway. And the Lodestar is going to do the rest of the Drummond Island stuff. Like, the Lodestar can get through these little narrow gaps and rescue this car and drag it all the way back here. And I think the Lodestar is going to investigate whatever's down here, because this is quite a nasty little muddy route. And it's going to do this watchtower, because I think there's another hill climbing task here. You need to climb a hill, and then it'll easily just come down here and have a look at this abandoned cargo ship, which you can't even see. You can see the containers, but you can't see the ship. So we're almost done with Drummond Island. Look after yourself and others, and I'll speak to you again soon.